Yes, people, welcome back to episode two of the Profit Philosophy. Last week I said it was episode two, but this is the real episode two. Hope you enjoyed the first episode. And yeah, let's get straight into things. First thing that I wanted to speak about was procrastination because I've been feeling it creeping in a little bit myself with certain tasks. And it made me think about entrepreneurs that are starting off and that are in that beginning stage of their journey. There definitely is a lot of procrastination. So, what are some ways that you've found that are good to get around that, Harleen?
Procrastination. So, bro, with me, like, there's a couple of things, right? So, we've got the scientific approach and the approach that I actually do. So, which one should we go with first?
Let's go with the approach that you do.
What I do. Okay, so when I procrastinate, typically it's because I'm not seeing any type of result. So, I've noticed, so I've been doing this stuff for 4 years now, right? And during those 4 years, I didn't make money until like the last good few months, you know? And the thing is, like, I'm now doing so much more work because I'm seeing some type of result than before. And the reason for that is because there is, like, I'm getting results for it, right? So I feel motivated. It's like an upward spiral. And like the scientific answer for this is there's actual dopamine being released in my brain. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, scientists out there, but there's dopamine being released in my brain. And there's actually like now I feel like I'm being rewarded for something, so my behavior is doing the thing that gives me the reward, if that makes sense, that dopamine release.
Yeah,
But in regards to what I do, like, yeah, I just figure out ways to reward myself. And with me, like, I hate to admit it, but I I really like positive feedback of people. So I when I do my work with clients, I love tripling down with client success because I will automatically get positive feedback from people, and that then gets me riled up to work even harder and get even bigger, better results for everyone else.
yeah, 100%. I think what you said there and not having direction or like getting reward from what you're doing, but also a lot of it with people is I feel like they're just too distracted. Like there's so many distractions. So what I would try and do if you're feeling like that is go to somewhere where you've not got those distractions. So like me, I can work very efficiently in my house, but I know there's still distractions in my house. If I go to a coffee shop with me and my laptop, there's nothing to do other than drink coffee until I'm anxious and get work done. Do you know what I mean? So I've not given myself that option of like, oh, I could go downstairs and mess about or do this and do that. It's like strictly work.
Can we talk about a just real quick? I want to talk about how caffeine is so underrated. Like, bro,
Yeah.
if you want to have an excellent work day, yo, get
Yeah.
yourself up in the morning, move a little bit. Like, I know you're feeling groggy, splash your face with cold water, bro. Down. Okay, if you're a nitty, you down a Red Bull in the morning, but down some sort
That's
of
bro.
caffeine in the morning, bro. Sit at your desk and just go crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I watched an Andrew Huberman podcast and he said to wait an hour and a half before you get up. And if you do that, you avoid the dump a bit later on from it. But yeah, caffeine is
Mm.
so good for being able to lock in and just like push past that sort of tiredness feelings because it blocks the receptors where you feel tired.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then another thing I do want to add as well, like try not to put if you're having an energy drink, try and have the zero sugar one. Or if you're having a coffee, try to really limit the amount of sugar you put in. Try and do no sugars because you know when you know how people talk about they have an energy drink and they crash out afterwards, like they just crash and they get super
Yeah.
tired. That's not the caffeine, that's the sugar. You're getting a sugar crash. So make sure that you're removing the sugar so you don't crash. And at that point you won't really notice that the caffeine's worn off, and you'll continue to be able to work unless you're super tired, and at that point you just take another dose of caffeine.
Yeah. That's when you re up on the caffeine hit. What I was also going to say about the procrastination in business is that the impact it can actually have on your business. And so let's say that you're pushing forward and you're getting a bit of momentum, and then you are feeling a little bit burnt out. You start to procrastinate. You can really undo months of hard work in such a short period of time just through not continuing the momentum and slowing yourself down.
Bro, for sure. Like, I know there have been times where I've completely fallen off in terms of work rate and stuff, and that loss of momentum completely destroys what I had going for me, and I have to rebuild again from ground zero. It's like people that go to the gym, you know that if you went to the gym, get in shape, get fat, and then you'll know it's easier to get back into shape because the base level's already there, right?
Yeah,
When you lose momentum in business, like you go back to very close to that base level, and you got to keep
yeah.
building back up again, and it's super super annoying to do. But once you've done it once, you can come back a little bit quicker the next time. One thing I would say though is this is a little bit deep, right? So when you're procrastinating, I do think that is a form of self sabotage
Yeah,
because it's like you know you should do that thing and it's going to be best for you for your long term happiness and fulfillment. I do 100% believe it's your own self sabotage, limiting beliefs, etc. at play that stops you from reaching your full potential. Like, to give you an example, I know full well I've got some back end modules to create to further support my clients, and it's like, for some reason, something deep within me is putting it off, even though I know that will be very, very useful for clients. And it's like, I don't know what limiting belief I have within myself that's stopping me from doing it. But if I do go ahead and just do it, which I will today, by the way, I'm gonna have much better feedback for my modules and stuff. My one-to-one calls won't be more so helping, telling you which button to click. It'll be more about real value-driven one-to-ones that actually build your business and move the needle forward. And
yeah,
again, better client results. I've already getting pretty crazy results, but better client results, more testimonials, easier to sell, more money, all that good stuff there.
yeah.
And it's very interesting. Like
Do
self
you think?
sabotage is very much based in um, limited beliefs, in my opinion.
Do you think that's connected with the fact that it's not that instant result? Because, like, let's say you're on a sales call and you close a sale, it's like you're getting that instant result, you're getting that money in your bank. You know, you're able to then move on and help that person. But for example, something like that, or in my case, like, see the other day when I had 25 clips to review, there was like a bit of friction in me doing that, and I noticed it, and I thought a bit more deeper into it, and I was like, if I was someone that didn't have self control, I would then let that linger for days and days and days, and then it gets to the point where you have clients leaving you, and this is why people can't grow and they can't scale because of their self-limiting beliefs and because of the challenges that they've got in their own head that they can't just push through. And again, that's why a mentor is so valuable because you get a lot of those answers and you get a lot of the harsh truths that you wouldn't get otherwise.
I'd maybe it could be that, and like 100%, I do think it's a level of comfort because like currently it's the 22nd of Jan. I've made 15k so far, and I do want to get to 20k, but it's like I don't need to make those modules right now, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
So it is my own comfort zone like holding me back a little bit. But that being said, like once you get comfortable, that's when things start to go downhill. So I really,
mm,
it's one of them ones where it's like I'm really battling, like I am really battling my own feelings of comfort, and like as like an entrepreneur, as you go higher and higher, you really need to make sure that you are removing instant gratification, comfort type of
yeah,
things. And another thing I would say, it is so monumentally important that you are around people that are doing well. Like buy yourself into a program if you have to, get into a community because bro, I spent 11 grand on this guy's program. Super super cool guy, and his community is only people that make like I don't know 20k months and beyond. A lot of them make 100k plus months, and it's like when I first got into that program, I was making zero. Within a month, I was at 20k. So you need to get into these circles because very very quickly you'll fall in line and do the work you have to do, and
yeah.
you will see results literally within a week. So I would say monumentally important to go ahead and just get in circles, man. Like you have to.
Yeah, that additional accountability is so key, and that could be the difference in like your case, for example, between procrastinating and maybe taking a bit longer and getting those modules done, or like you are today, just going and just doing it because you know, like, for you to compete, that is the shit that you need to be doing. Another thing that I feel like people do a lot,
For sure.
and I've heard it myself before on calls and stuff like that, is people are reading and consuming a lot of content, but they're not actually getting a lot out of it, or they're not doing anything with the content. And again, it all comes with just taking that first step, taking action, because you can read a book a million times, but you're not going to get the experience without actually physically going and
Bro, can
doing
I tell
it,
you something?
trialing it. Yeah,
Can can I show you something as well? I was on call with my coach. This dude has so far this month has made like 170 grand. He's got to get to 5 million like yearly revenue by the end of this year.
nice.
Bro, this is my Instagram. Like there's ads and
Yeah,
everyone's muted, no suggested posts, nothing.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
bro, or there's one person's story that I forgot to mute that I'm about to mute right now. There is nobody there at
Yeah,
all
I need to
apart
do
from
that.
my own ads. And
Yeah,
bro, I was speaking to Austin. Huge shout out to Austin, crazy entrepreneur. And fun fact, he invited me to his house, which is awesome. But all the way in Florida. But we were talking, and he said, "Yo, just so you know, like I follow 58 people. Every single one of them is muted, bar 5 people that are really close that are also hitting 100k, 200, 300, 400k months." And it's like, damn, okay. And he doesn't consume content, and I've
yeah.
noticed. In fact, this was going to be a future video, but I've written it down as a note, and I'm just going to go ahead and read it out to everyone, and you as well, Aaron. If I'm going to go ahead and just read this out. You know, if you removed everyone from socials and muted the people that might cause a problem if you unfollow them, so your feed goes blank. So you know how some people you like, if you unfollow them, it can cause a problem. If you can't unfollow someone, just mute them.
Yeah,
Then, if you just didn't leave your house for maybe a week or two, I promise you'll start acting way more authentically, and you'll notice that all of a sudden more abundance starts coming your way. Magically, the money you make increases, people are happier speaking to you, and you finally let go of anxiety that weighs so deeply on yourself. I know this because I am the same. I went from eating water and oats, getting treated like an option by friends, and some I regarded close when I was younger, to now getting myself on a multiple six-figure run rate. So, like, I went from eating water and oats at university, and I was treated as an option by friends, people I regarded close when I was younger and stuff. And it's like
yeah,
when you like, what happens is you start acting like you start behaving in a way that you think will appeal to other people. You know, like,
yeah,
and if you think you're one of those people that doesn't do that, if you cringe at people, 100% best believe you are one of those people because the only reason you're cringing is because you can't see yourself doing that in fear of what other people think, right?
a lot of it's
That's what it
subconscious
comes
as well.
down to. That's the Yeah, for sure. It's like a lot of it is subconscious, but that's the crux of it, right? But what happens is like when you start going ahead and muting, like, well, I had 600 people I was following. Now I have less than 200. Like I removed 400 people in one day of people that are just so irrelevant, and I muted the rest of everyone else, including the
Yeah,
notes, stories, posts. And now, bro, like, because I'm spending time just with me and my clients and only with people that are earning 20, 40, 50k months and beyond, 100k months, bro, it in my mind there's nothing limiting nor stopping me apart from
yeah,
myself. And that's super easy to break when you don't have other things influencing you, like you
yeah,
said, to a subconscious level. So, dude, it is so insane. Like, it's magical. I went from 0 to 20k months like it was nothing. And that is
yeah,
so
so true.
crazy to just say out loud.
Yeah, and it's very powerful not having any outside opinions to dilute you in your head because only you know truly what you want, and you're only going to find that through being on your own and allowing yourself to actually have your own thoughts, not be influenced by other people. Um, and I've noticed that myself a lot recently. Like I've just been growing leaps and bounds, fucking every day. It feels like, because there's nothing. I'm not wasting energy on bullshit. I'm not wasting energy in situations or doing things that I don't want to do. It's like everything is for me, and it's all going towards motion and making more money and growth. And when that is what you're doing, you really can't be stopped. I mean, look at what you're doing. Look at what I'm doing. It's just results and growth every month, literally.
Bro, if we like take a second to think, like, just look at yourself, bro. You're 20 years old and you landed one of your clients a fire in the booth. You tell me another 20-year-old that's done that, bro. Like I don't know, It's insane to think about. But I
Yeah,
guess you tell me, bro. Like I know certainly with me, I do feel like progress doesn't feel like anything because it's just me. It's like, oh, it's just me. Like what? Like that doesn't
yeah.
feel like anything. Like, do you get that as well, or no? Not really.
Yeah, I don't like to give myself a lot of like credit for progress because what I've found with myself as a person is when I give myself a lot of credit, I tend to kick my feet up a little bit, which is a bad habit that I do have. So I like to just keep pushing and like I'll only stop to smell the flowers if it's like a really big goal that's been achieved, you know. What about you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm the 100%. I'm the same. But
Yeah.
then again, like this is why like wins channels and community stuff like really is important because you need to have people that celebrate your wins, but
Yeah.
also make you feel like shit at the same time. You know, like
Yeah.
like with people in the communities that I'm in, they celebrate my little wins. I'm like, oh, I've hit 20K per month today. I've hit 10K per month today. Like all that good stuff there. But then at the same time, looking at the progress they make, like they're genuinely happy. Don't get it twisted. But me
Yeah.
seeing how well they're performing just makes me want to level up and step up and show out for myself and my clients and everyone else watching
Yeah.
as well. So I
Yeah.
100% would just say make sure you do celebrate everything because, like I said before, the dopamine doesn't hit and you get burnt
True.
out. So make sure you are celebrating 100% with some good like praise. Like just I hate to say this, but like low key words of affirmation from other people though, not you, not yourself. Well, you
Yeah.
can do yourself too, but make sure you have that, and then make sure you're also in a circle where people are like hitting crazy numbers because it will keep you accountable
Yeah.
too.
Well, speaking on communities, what do you think makes a good community, whether it's on school, Telegram, whatever it may be? What do you think are the good sort of pillars or foundations to that?
Good pillars. Okay, so I think um, everyone needs to interact with each other. So if
Yeah,
you are in a community, I'm looking at a certain someone on a call. If you're in a community, like go out of your way to interact with people, ask
yeah,
questions, ask the community, put your wins into like so. Simmer the other day, like he put into the community, like this is not a financial win, but just in the last few days, I'm so much more productive and I'm getting everything done, you know. And like, bro, he is on track to hitting 10K per month in like 2 3 weeks max, you know. So it's like
yeah,
it's little stuff like that. Like post those wins, and when someone posts a win, celebrate it with them, because what it does is like as a collective, you guys level up together. If that makes sense. But
yeah,
then it is also hard to go from lone wolf to like going out of your way to celebrate, but it's something you have to do. And then if it's your community, bro, step up and show out. Like be the example. So with
yeah,
me, I just refuse to answer any direct message questions unless it's in the question channel.
yeah,
Like I've had a few people message me questions, and I said, "Yo, ask it in the questions channel." I just don't answer it, and then they go and answer, and then they go question in the channel, and then I answer it. So always redirect until you get the behavior that you want. That is beneficial for everyone, not just what you want. And yeah, like lead by example too. So don't you're not the leader as like the owner of the community. You're
yeah,
also learning from everyone inside, but you wanna make sure you step up and show out for everyone. So if you want everybody to get good at sales, make sure you're getting good at sales first, so everyone follows suit. And then what happens is, as a collective, we all grow, and then that's how you grow a community that becomes something special.
yeah, definitely. What I've found is the communities that are more active and they've got more people in them. I've been more of a part of them myself. Is it's just part and parcel. If your phone's buzzing and the group chat's constantly going, you are a lot more likely to get involved in it. Whereas there's been some where I've been in where there's been 5, 10 people. There's been the odd message, and I've not really felt the need to contribute in that sense. Because, like you said, we've been a bit of a lone wolf, like I am. It's like it's not that I don't care about other people's wins or anything like that, but I'm just so focused on what I'm doing that it's unless it is very active, then it wouldn't really catch me or draw me in that sense. So that's a very key part having an active community.
But the thing is, like when you say that, like you gotta look at it this way: like when you have a like, if you're not actively, even if it goes against what you're comfortable with, if you're not actively doing it, when you get a win, and like first of all, you might not even want to post, which is not a good thing.
Mm,
Like, bro, I cannot. If everyone posts their little wins, I
yeah,
promise you, every single person looking at that community will feel so much more excited to get to work. So like in the communities that I'm in, everyone posts every single little win, every tiny little
yeah,
one, and bro, the way it gets you riled up is insane. So go out of your way to post the wins,
right.
even if you don't want it. And if someone posts a win, go and reply to their win and be like, "Yo, this is so sick," and interact with it. Because like think of something to say if you can't, if you're not immediately drawn, because it comes back to you tenfold, and I am living proof of it. Like trust me, just if you're in a community, please interact. That's what it's there for.
Mm. What would you say has been one of the most valuable communities that you've been a part of?
Austin Medlin's community, closesales.com, by far. That's
Yeah,
like hands down the best one I've been in because dude, like my community, Loki is based off his. It's just
yeah,
so good. It's so insane. Everyone's so supportive. Everyone supports you, and because it's how do I say this like without sounding sus, like because it's so loving, you just want to overperform every single day, and
yeah,
you and when I say overperform, I mean to the point where 20k months is like bare minimum standard,
yeah,
and it's just insane. Like everything I'm saying now, it's like, bro, we have to do this stuff because that's literally the stuff that gets you there. But it's also
yeah,
hard to believe because people think it's the how do you target in meta ads that gets you the 20k, but it really isn't.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like your own mindset and how you go about this stuff.
100%. That again, that's why like you can or me can show someone how to set up the ads and we can run them through the whole process. But if they're not willing to invest the money in it, then they're not going to see any growth. So it's all to do with you and the person that you are. Because if you want to be earning 20k a month, you need to be acting like the guy who's earning 20k a month. And the guy who's earning 20k a month
What do you do with
doesn't have an
what do you
issue
do
with
with
putting
clients that don't want to pay your ad spend?
that is a good one. What I would do is I would work up on an organic content basis first, but I would make them very, very aware that with the clients that are brought in through organic growth, you should save up with that, save up a pot for ads, and as soon as possible, we'll get the ads set up and get them running. That is if they physically don't have the money available. What would you do?
I think what would I do? I would like now low key. I'd just turn them away.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
on a sales call they said nope, no ads, no ads, no ads at all. Yeah, I'd just be like, I'd ask why. I'd figure out what the reason is. I'd show them the light at the end of the tunnel, and if they still say
yeah.
no, I'll be like, bro, you're asking for a Lamborghini, but you only want to pay the price of an apple. Like that's not how this works here. You know.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very good point. Because I do already do content done for you, that's why I would do that approach. And I have seen myself like if you do have the right organic content approach with intent behind every post, you will bring in leads. And if you've got the right sales process, you'll
Mm-hmm.
convert them very quickly. So within the space of a month to 2 months, you could have well over a grand sitting there ready to run ads for.
What do
But
you think
again,
of? So, I mean, I'm not big on content. So, what would a good content strategy look like?
for you, again, it's relatively similar for all profiles that are trying to sell. You want to build social proof with your audience. You also want to build trust. You want to provide value. And then once you've done them, you then want to sell to your audience through your content. So whether
Mm.
that be,
So,
you'd be showing off testimonials first. like before and afters of how people were making X amount and now they scaled up to a six-figure run rate. You would then be providing value in your content, actionable tips, life advice, and then not only is that providing value that people can implement in, it's then also building trust and showing that you are the guy that you say you are. And then once you sell to your audience after that, you've got a much higher likelihood of not only bringing in leads but closing them as well.
But do you think, like with me, I'm kind of like, even though I work with super experienced people, 100%, I also do work with like slightly inexperienced people, like beginners as well. How do you go about getting social proof and demonstrating competence? Because I've got my own way, which
Yeah.
I'll go into in a second. But like, how do you go about demonstrating competence if you are brand new and you have no testimonials?
Yeah, so I would say film yourself doing the job. So I spoke to Simmer about this, and I said one of the things that he could do while he's doing the videography was set up another camera that was recording him physically doing the job. And one, that's showing that you're getting business. It's showing that you can physically do it, and it's showing that someone else has put the trust in you to pay you to allow you to do the service. I would then be offering to do work for free because you can then in return get testimonials and social proof from that. And I would keep doing that until I've got a good 3 to 5 paying clients, and then I would just keep moving from there, ads and stuff like that.
Do you think it also depends on like the industry you're in? Because let's say
Yeah,
you're a videographer, like perhaps you wouldn't need to do free work if you can have like a demo, like if you can have like
yeah,
a portfolio of a demo.
yeah. For me, for example, I remember I was doing free work for a gym over in Spain, a boxing gym over there, and I was essentially just doing free work, free edits for months. But they were quite a credible gym, and from that, I then made videos showing how I'd increased their overall engagement rate, how they'd been bringing in more clients, etc. And then from there, I started getting some paying clients off the back of that.
I see, I see. Interesting, interesting. I think I think it's a little bit different for marketing agencies too, you know.
Mm,
My approach is this. This is kind of crazy. Like my approach is turn up to the sales calls with the biggest, 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 biggest balls in the world. Like, if you turn up with absolute, unwavering self confidence, holy crap, do people get convinced? You know?
yeah,
So I've
Wolf of
noticed
Wall
that.
Street, that
Like, I
sales
remember
call.
signing my first client. Bro, facts. Like, Wolf of Wall Street, it, bro. I remember signing my first client for like 2.4K. I
Mm,
had no results really, barely any testimonials, like nothing. And I was just like, bro, if you just do this, 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 and this, it will work. Look at my results, even though it's
yeah,
irrelevant to some people. And people, because you say it with so much confidence, people are like, should I believe him? Should I not?
yeah,
And that allows you to stay in the buying pocket. And then obviously
definitely.
once you're in the buying pocket, you just like tip them over the edge and close that deal.
Another good point, specifically on a sales call, is being okay with the lead walking away because it shows that one, you're not short of leads, and two, you're really, really confident in the service. So that's something at the beginning that I made a little mistake with, but I learned very quickly. So another thing that I wanted to speak about was content within music, because what I've been seeing recently is a lot of artists who are releasing freestyles, releasing tracks, and all they do is release it and drop a trailer on the day or maybe a little pre-trailer beforehand, but you're not planning any content around the actual track and you're missing out on thousands and thousands and thousands of people knowing about you. So, for example, my boy Django J, shout out to him, go listen to his music if you haven't. He has recently done a track called Kill Bill, and we are going to theme content around the Kill Bill movie and the track that he's done, on top of obviously the trailers, the music video, everything along with that. So we are nailing the content from all angles there to give him the best chance at getting the most views possible. And that's something that a lot of artists just don't do.
Got it. What do you think, like, in terms of like jobs or roles in the music industry? I
Yeah.
mean, you like correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I'm only aware of music artists and producers. Like, what other roles? And if someone was that role, what would they have to do to market themselves well on social media?
So yeah, well, you've got managers as well. You've obviously got people in the content creation side of things. So there are some people that are strictly videographers and stuff like that. You've also then got people who are involved, not specifically with the producing. I'm not sure what the exact name is, but they're involved within the beat sort of side of things. And for all of these people, I would say the number one thing is networking. First of all, I was saying this to my boy Rhino Beats. Networking is the number one thing that's going to open doors for you and allow you to go and work with more people, especially in music. And then outside of that, consistency with who you're outreaching to. So sending people messages a lot, and then also what you're posting. So consistent content. Again, show yourself doing the job. If you're a manager, show the results of your management. Like look at Bouncer Play Dirty, for example. I saw a video of his the other day where he was running through all the artists that he'd managed and everything that he's done for them. And that is amazing social proof that you can then get out there and get way more business from. So it really just depends what your specific role is, but make sure that you market yourself as one of the best in that role and show yourself doing the job effectively.
But then, if someone was a brand new manager, for example,
Yeah,
how would they go about
networking. It would have to just
getting
be.
their first job?
It would need to be
Networking.
networking and outreach at the very beginning. That's what it was for me as well. Like with Ross, for example, Ross the boss. I literally sent him a DM, and his dad replied to me, and I got in a conversation with his dad, and then I ended up speaking to Ross, and then 8 9 months later, look at where we are. So that's all through just
Fire in the booth.
literally, bro. It's all through just taking the chance. If I hadn't sent that message, the door wouldn't have opened. And then look at all the other doors that have opened off the back of that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Do you think like okay, so for a manager, he's all about getting clients, right? Like music artists as clients.
Yeah,
Like, what would make a manager more appealing than just a music artist hiring their uncle or something?
yeah. So with a manager, I wouldn't say unless it's like a manager, like a big management team, you don't want a manager that's got loads of artists because his time and energy is going to be split really thin. So if you've got a manager, you probably only want a manager that's got between 1 and 3 artists, I would say, if it's just a single manager on their own, on their solo. What was your question again? Sorry.
So, in like, let's say you were a manager,
Yeah.
who was brand new. How
Mm.
would you go about getting your first artist to sign up with you, rather than the artist going and getting their uncle or their
Right.
cousin to manage
Yeah.
them instead?
So I would go away first and get a plan put together because no one really has a plan in music unless they've really thought it through and unless they've already got a manager or they know someone within the scene already. So get an airtight plan pulled together. Do some learning first because obviously you're going to need to have more knowledge than the artist in that area, and then come to them as the professional with a plan. You're coming to them with value, so most likely they are then going to reply to you because you've leveraged it in a way where it's like a carrot and a stick, essentially.
Got it, got it. So, what would that actually look like? So, as the manager,
Yes.
what would it actually look like to get the clients on board, like getting your social media right so you seem as an attractive option?
Yeah.
And then what would the selling actually look like as well? So when you get these people on calls, how would you like close them on some sort of deal?
Well, I'm not actually a manager at the moment. Like I'm looking at a few artists where I potentially will delve into that. So I'm not sure it would be as much of a sales call basis, like a lead. I think it would be a lot more natural if you're going to go into management with an artist because in my opinion, you're going to want to have some sort of relationship with them that's built up, even if it's from you just sending them a message, or you're going to want to have really good knowledge within music, their niche. So you've got a lot of insight. And then in terms of the actual selling process, I think it would more be in terms of getting them on a call, speaking them through the plan, and then simply at the end of that, asking them if they would like to really take things serious and move ahead. Obviously, the usual things in terms of future pacing on where they could go and pushing the pain points of, if you don't do the marketing, where could you be? And in most cases, it's going to be in the same position. But yeah, I don't think it would look too different other than that.
Do you think for as so let's say if I was a manager and I
Yeah.
wanted to sign on some artists, would
Mhm.
I would you say like would you say to run ads for that, or would you say to just do like manual outreach?
I would say manual outreach and networking. Again, the networking side of things is key, and you need to have a good ear. Like one of the reasons why I would potentially get into it is because I do have a good ear for music. The amount of artists that I've listened to, or like their first or like their first couple of tracks, and then they go on to smash it, um, is mad. Or people who have got the potential to smash it, but they've not nailed the marketing. There's a lot of people like that. So if you're outreaching to people who already have the correct sound that you're trying to push, and then you come with a good plan in their head, it's stupid not to. Like every artist I've spoke with, they've not said, "Oh, I don't think that's going to work or that's going to be a good idea." Maybe some of the issues later on have came with money or consistency and things like that. But in terms of the actual plan and them working with you, I've never had an artist be like, "Doesn't sound that good." Because in most cases, all artists do need more support because a lot of them are just doing it themselves. So
Gotcha.
being
So
able
how
being able
about
to give your time is huge. So that's a very big factor as well because if you can give your
got
time
it?
to someone and guarantee them that like you're in their corner, you're going to be helping them make moves, thinking about stuff outside of just producing the music, making the music, then it's going to be crazy beneficial.
I see. So as a manager, so how do you actually sell yourself to want an artist to make an artist want to work with you, if that makes sense? Because the thing
Yeah,
that I'm kind of like confused about is how do you like I can like if I went to an artist, what would I
yeah,
say to him? Would I like have some done for you components where I'm like, yo, we'll run ads, we'll make sure you're hitting these
yeah,
numbers. This is the entire
yeah.
strategy. Is it that type of thing?
Well, no, no. I think in my case, it would be because I've already got the whole marketing side of things locked off. But for someone who's strictly just going into management, what you're providing them is your network, your time, yeah, I would say those are the two main things: your network and your time, because you need to be able to provide them links to bigger YouTube channels, freestyle platforms, radio platforms. You need to be helping them get distribution deals, record deals if they want that, and then the time aspect as well, because a lot of artists might be short on time, and if they're not, all they know what to do with their time is to record music. So it's very important for you to outline to them everything and the big, so if you think of it and picture it as like a big wheel, a big pie chart, the actual music is like that much. So you're basically letting them know how much there really is to cover, and you're going to cover all of that for them.
Got it. So you think so so would you say management, like managing an artist, is not like a beginner hustle, a beginner business to start essentially?
Not really, not unless you go
Because you
into
need that
it through,
network.
yeah, yeah, unless you're going into it through knowing someone, like let's say your friend's an artist and you're like, right, I'll manage you, let's do this together. There's a lot of stuff like that where you would be starting off fresh. But I would say once you get your first artist, then it's up to you what happens because it's all really down to your plan and how you execute it. But if you do it properly, then you're going to have enough social proof after that first artist to work with more people anyway. So really, it's just down to getting that first
Mm,
one. And again, that's all just down to the networking side of things, I would say.
understandable. I get it.
And
That's starting
and
to make a lot of sense because I'd never really understood the
Yeah,
management.
yeah. And another big thing, this is more in the marketing side of things, and it's a big thing that time is money focus on, is we collect all the data of your tracks. So from when you start working with us, we collect the views, the likes, the shares, the comments for the first day, the first week, and then the first month. So in doing that, it allows you to plan ahead so much better in advance. It also allows you to track other metrics like how well the ads are performing, how much of that's contributed to the extra views, how well the organic content that you've planned has done, all that kind of stuff. And it just allows you to see the growth a lot more and plan ahead much better because let's say your song does 10K in the first week, but the next one you release does 15, then you're projected to do a lot more, and you can start to really get systematic with everything that you're doing, which just makes everything a lot smoother and much better to run.
Got it. So with so for managers, they don't actually handle the marketing at all, really.
Well, again, it depends. It really depends. Because again, guys like Bouncer Play Dirty, who's a manager, he's got a really good marketing brain. And obviously he will have a team, but the majority of the marketing will be behind him. But then you've got other artists who have a team where, like for example, with Ross, I'm doing Ross's marketing, but Fiasco's his manager. Now Fiasco definitely does help with the marketing, but in that case, he doesn't need to do all of it. So I would say it just depends on a situational basis, really.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Another thing, obviously we don't want to say who it is, but we might potentially having our first guest soon. If you wanted to give a little bit of insight on that,
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go.
come
Let's
on.
go. So, first guess, should we tease it a little bit or no? All you guys need to know is you will not know who this person is, but rest assured this guy makes six figures. And he is
Chances
also
are,
20, 21 years old.
yeah, chances are he's making more
Sorry,
money than
sorry,
you.
sorry.
Chances are he's making more money than you. So
Yeah,
tune in.
chances are yes. So maybe in the next few episodes we'll have a guy. Someone a little birdie told me he has a marketing agency based in Canada. I don't know, but in all seriousness, you won't know who he is. Like people
Yeah,
watching this, you not really because he's not big on socials. But this guy's about the money, bro. He is about the money. You know.
but it's like
One thing I want to say is go
I was just gonna say most people who have a lot of money, you
go on
don't know
me.
them. Like see that School of Hard Rocks. I don't know if you've seen that Instagram account where the guy goes up to millionaires and just chances it and tries to interview them. But he's got so many videos that go super viral. And honestly, I've probably recognised about 10 of the people on it, and he's interviewed hundreds and hundreds of them because most people, unless you're in the social media space that have made money, you're not gonna know them at all.
Bro, I had what's it called? Yesterday I got a call. Someone booked in a call with me through my ads,
Yeah,
and this guy called me and he was like, "Yo, I can't find this like information." He was looking for some information that he couldn't find, and
yeah,
he called me and I said, and I was like, "Yo, I don't normally take calls like this, but whilst we're here, tell me what you need." And
yeah,
he revealed to me that he was making 5 million a year, and I said to him, "Oh no, I normally help people just get to 40K months. That's like,
yeah,
and it's a coaching offer. It's not really agency done with for you, and the but I can get you in touch with the right done for you people." And this dude, like this guy, started like flexing on me for no reason, saying, "What 40,000? I spend that on a flight," and he started laughing at me. And I'm like, "Bro, here's something." Like I was on the call, and I was like, first and foremost, I
yeah,
know people that make more money than you. So hold your horses. I didn't say that, but I was thinking it. I was like, hold your horses, because bro, like, I didn't know if
yeah.
he was like trolling or what. But I'm not gonna reveal his name or companies he worked like what owns really. But yeah, apparently 25-year-old multi-billionaire called me to flex on me a little bit, and then I referred him over to like the right people. So hopefully he gets what he needed. But low key, like he said to me that I couldn't help him, and like he was kind of like talking down. And in my head, I was thinking like, yo, the training I've received has been responsible for closing $100 million worth of like
Yeah.
deals in the last 5 years. You know, it's like
And,
don't count me out just
yeah,
yet. Like I'm probably better than your sales team, but whatever. Like I don't want to work with someone who's like
yeah,
that so far
100%.
up his backside. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Corey, people who lead with their money are arseholes, bro. I remember I went for a job interview for a guy who is pretty successful in Scotland. He owned a marketing agency and sold it for a few million and then went into property. And I remember I went in for the job interview and it was for a marketing based role. And he'd went through my social media and he'd been like, "Oh, I saw you done a giveaway post for £100." He went, "The only issue with that is who wants £100? I spend that on my breakfast." And I looked at him and I was like, "Well, it's my most engaged post. It's just hit 20K and I've doubled my followers off the back of it. So I think for £100 it's pretty worth it. And he had like his, I don't know who the guy was, his little puppet next to him who was sitting sniggering. But it's like people who, you know, like they lead with money as like their personality trait almost because you're so shallow and you've got nothing else to really to show people. Like if you're a
It's
nice
insane,
person,
bro.
yeah, it's crazy.
It's like I don't understand. Like I think 100%, and this is on like unpopular opinion. It's fine to talk about money because it's like
Yeah,
you will get the right help you need if you're not making enough. And if you do make enough, you inspire other people. But I think it depends on the intention that you have when you talk about money. You know, like
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't intend to come across as an arsehole when I talk about money. Like revenue has been going good and stuff. But I only say that because there's definitely another brown skinned kid like me who's
yeah,
watching me like, what the hell? Like I can do it too. Like, bro, I'm fat right now. Like I'm a fat kid that sits at his desk all day and I make like pretty decent money and it's like
yeah,
there's another person out there that thinks the same. The same way how there's another Scottish kid out there watching you, like,
hundred
bro,
percent.
if he can do it, so can I. So I think it depends on the
Literally,
intention, and yeah, people that scoff at you for not making money, it's like, bro, you're low key an asshole, but
high key,
whatever.
high key.
High key,
uh,
facts, facts. High key,
and
you're a prick.
100% because again, on the more like philosophical side of things, yes, like business and money is very important to me, and that's what I like to speak about. But it's not what I like. My money is not what I lead with. Like that, if that's what you lead with first, then it's probably all you've got to lead with. Like if you're a nice person, you've got a good personality, you're easy to get on with, you know, you've got good topics of conversation to speak about, then all of that would come before you bringing up your money first, you know. But for a lot of people that have nothing else, that is like the first thing that gets flashed in your face.
Bro, I think money should just. I think it's true what they say. Money is an amplifier, and if you are inherently an arsehole, money will make you more of an arsehole. But
Yeah,
if before you have a little bit of money to play with, you try your hardest to be a nice person, etc., and like you go above and beyond, money will just bring that out of you more because it amplifies. I think yeah, money
yeah,
does, in my opinion, just amplify every part of you. And I'm not gonna lie, there is a part of me that is an arsehole, to be completely honest. Like I get excited at times and I just blurt things out for no reason, and it's not nice for me to do sometimes. And I am
yeah,
working on it, by the way, guys. I am. I'm not a complete prick. I don't think. And it's like it's just I get excited
yeah,
sometimes, you know. I'm like, oh, why would I do that? I can go here instead because I have the money now, you know.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, and it comes across as rude, and it's like I do want to work on that for myself, like to be completely honest. But I think that has that like I must have already had that arsehole within
yeah,
me beforehand. It's just it never came out because it's never been amplified. But now that
yeah,
I've got a bit more freedom and like I can stretch my legs a little bit, every part of me has been amplified, and unfortunately, so is that arsehole side. But that being said, it does mean that I can still continue to develop myself as a person. And
yeah,
to be honest, having a bit of money to just like relax and like breathe, not being under like constant fight or flight, has allowed me to come to that conclusion. So it's like,
yeah.
you know, I'm just leveling up as a person, I believe, and I think it's really important to make some money to get to the next level as a person because the whole point of life is just to like progress, right?
Yeah,
You know, the whole point of life isn't the money. The money's just a tool to help you progress as a person.
literally, that's such a good point that you made there because realistically, it will amplify you. But if you've got the self awareness, then you won't let it change you too much in the sense that like yes, you
Mm.
might want to go to a restaurant where you're spending like a couple of £100 instead of like McDonald's, for example, where you've got the awareness to bring yourself back down to the ground and like not allow yourself to think that's all you are, like the guy with the money who obviously didn't have the self awareness, who was just flashing the 5 million.
Yeah, but I think the thing is like when you don't have the money because you're in a state of lack, like oh my god, I don't have this, like you do anything you can to try and get it and you lose yourself in the process and when you do get
Yeah,
it like it I don't know like you lose yourself a little bit if you just constantly
yeah,
chase the money and I noticed 100% once I let go of money And like touch wood, God's honest truth, by letting go of money, I meant I finally put everything I had into mentors and courses and ad spend. Make
Yeah,
sure you buy the right courses off the right legit people, by the way, and make sure you buy and hire the correct mentors that are legit mentors and coaches. Like 100% make sure these guys are legit. But
yeah,
once you have those three things, like you spend money on the ads on your business and yourself, you spend money on mentors to help you develop, and you spend money on courses to also help you learn stuff as well. Like, bro, you
yeah,
can't go wrong, And it is
yeah,
it is genuinely that simple. Like, you just don't have information and you have an attachment to money. Those are
yeah.
the two things holding you back.
To let go of that attachment of money, though, you kind of need to have enough for you to be comfortable, which is it's like a weird dynamic because obviously some people can like let go of if they need the money even if they don't have any, but that's how you end up homeless. So it's like you need that
It's
you need
interesting
that.
you say that. I mean, I don't think I agree with that. I
Do you know
think
what? I
I
would
think
say
no, I don't. No, I
I
don't
would say
because I was at like
if you don't prioritize and focus money when you've not got any, you're not going to get any.
I don't know. Like I had a client the other day, and maybe it is like maybe like you need to have a bit of money to justify the first time you spend some money on some sort of information, like to level up. But because I signed on a client and he said to me like, "Yo, he bought a course before, didn't work out well at all for him. It did nothing for him, and he spent like 1,000 on it." And like he spoke to me and he was completely dead broke, like no money. And bro, he like I spoke to him, we figured something out, and bro, this guy went, he was looking he got his old job back that he hated. He started Uber Eats delivery and he got money off his parents just to make the initial deposit for me, and
Yeah,
that completely changed it for him. So I don't know, like I feel like
he's
it
not.
depends on like how much pain you're in
Yeah,
as
because
well.
I was going to say he's not detached from the money there. Like that's what he's chasing at that point. Do you know what I mean? I mean like detaching
Who
from money
knows?
in your case in the sense that like yeah, you've got enough there where you're not in that fight or flight because a lot of business, especially at the beginning, is that fight or flight where it's like I need to make money this month, I need to do that. And then when you can level up from that and allow yourself to breathe, like you said, you can then start to deep things a bit more. You can zoom out and you can detach yourself from having that money. Because even me at the moment, there's still times where I'm a bit like, oh, I want to bring that bit of business in this month and blah 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 blah. Whereas if I was as secure as I wanted to be, I would be able to just detach from that.
Here's a quick question for you, Aaron. What are you like? I don't know about you, but like I love buying coaching and mentorship. It's the best thing because the return on investment is so insane, right?
Yeah,
What what type of mentorship or coaching are you looking to get next?
I would say next it would probably be some sort of sales. After looking at what you've done, it would either be sales or deeper learning into ads. So those are the two at the
Do you
moment where I
think
feel like they would most benefit my business and bring
do you,
in more money to them.
got it? So when you say into sales, like how would you like who would you go to? Like do you have anyone in mind or no?
Not as of yet. I've looked at different guys. Obviously, I followed Austin. I'm not quite at that point yet where I'd invest into him. But I would maybe wait until I do until I could invest in something properly because there is a lot of mentorship specifically within marketing. Like before we done our like before we were working together, I was on calls with multiple other mentors, and like I'm very good at just seeing through the bullshit, and they were just trying to get money off
Yeah.
you for a course, and that was definitely something that made me aware not to just rush straight in like that guy did in paying the £1,000 course because you really need to do your yeah because you really do need to do your due diligence and like go over their content for a period of time and see how they are on their stories and all that kind of stuff. Because again, there's guys like I've seen a few exposed videos on Wes Watson who people are paying thousands of pounds. I think it's between 5 and 10 grand they're paying for one-to-one coaching calls, and he's sitting screaming at them, calling them fucking idiots, and like, do you know what I mean? And people like if you'd done your research on him, you would know that's what he's like. But people just jump straight in. Lots of followers. He said he's made this amount of money. Bye.
Mm.
I need a bit more convincing than that. So I'm looking about right now.
Bro, honestly, you know what I'd say? As
Mm.
soon as you start getting at least 10 booked calls on your calendar per month, just speak to him, book a call with him, like just message him, be like, yo, this is my current situation. This is how much I have in the bank. Can I get situated or not? And bro,
Yeah,
he will probably work something out with you. And
yeah,
mention my name too.
yeah,
Because he
yeah, definitely.
will for sure see you're a cool guy and he'll work something out. And bro, it is insane. Like Austin's training, everyone,
Yeah,
Austin Medlin on Instagram, his shit is like so good. So,
yeah.
so good.
Yeah, like I was watching one of his videos and like I could tell there's no bullshit. Like he's just like, here's the formula, use it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with a lot of other mentors, it's like they're trying to do the sales psychology too much, and it's like for him, he doesn't even like. Obviously, he does use sales psychology when he's selling to people, but in his content, it's like he's just himself and he's just showing you the formula. It's not like he's trying to portray something that he's not. So
Mm.
I like that when I was going through his content.
What one little life hack, like genuinely, if you want to come across as authentic as possible and more authentic as yourself, mute everyone on social media and/or unfollow them, and then don't only do things that are important, like go to the gym, look after yourself, like don't leave your house for a week basically, and you will start to feel more authentic to yourself because you'll just do the things that you want to do, like genuinely want to do, and that will come across in your content a lot better.
A point to add to that though, you need to have the self control and the awareness for that, because a lot of people could go away
For sure.
and like doing the things they want to do is playing PS4 and having a wank. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you need to you need to have the vision in place. You need to have the vision in place to go and do that, because a lot of people listen to that and be like, "Oh yeah, cool. I'll go and do what I want for a week." But it's like you need to
No,
truly,
go do what you should do.
yeah, you need to look really deep within yourself and ask yourself like, what do I want? And if you've already got a business, really envision like where you want it to go. If it was as successful as it could be, where would it be? What would you be doing? And then you've got more of a visualization to work towards. But yeah, that could be a good
100%.
point to
True.
get on. So
Yes,
yes,
sir.
people, subscribe, turn on the notifications as well. Give us a comment. Obviously, it helps us getting pushed further. And yeah, we will see you guys next week. Oh,
See you later, man.